Good morning, or good evening if you're watching this later. Hope everything went well watching the first video. I know we had some issues and hopefully we got them squared away. It's interesting with technology because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We get a little frustrated when it doesn't, but it could be a multitude of things, and just got to try to be patient and look forward to getting the most out of it. Today and yesterday was kind of like a two-part getting used to getting on Facebook and seeing what we can use Facebook and other forms of social media for. This can be beneficial in getting a lot of things done, as we talked about in the discussion board. So we'll continue with that a little bit, and you guys can work on that, and we'll start to get our feet wet in our next form of social media. I also did see in one of the comments that we're looking forward to doing certain things, and it's nice we're going to be able to do that, and that's putting videos up online. We'll be doing that through YouTube, but you can also use that through Facebook and other forms as well. So it's a neat thing that you can do. Alright, Facebook and other forms of social media. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's face it. Just like anything else, you can do good things with technology and you can do bad things with technology, and things that you just would rather not see with technology. Obviously, Facebook's been around for quite some time. Don't see it going away, just being added to with other forms of social media. It didn't go the way of the dodo like MySpace pretty much did. So it looks like it's going to be around for quite some time, and I think it's because it's very versatile. And you can do a lot of different things with it, and there's a lot more security that you can work around it. So while you are on Facebook, look for some of that security things to protect you and your church, to make sure that only certain people see certain things. Anything you post is positive or could be generically used, and you won't have to worry as much about the security of who sees what, which is probably the better way to be more transparent. We've all seen lots of negative things on Facebook, unfortunately. Unfortunately, as long as you have people in the world, that's a possibility. I try to, at least with our churches, try not to necessarily friend people as quickly as I used to anymore. Not that we don't want to be open to everyone, because we do, obviously. The problem becomes some of their posts that get seen. And that's where you do have to look a little bit at your features as to who sees what from other posts, or if they try to post on your timeline. You can choose to not have them post on your timeline, which is probably the best thing to do. Give you a quick war story on that. Here we are, and we're doing I forget if it was a spaghetti dinner, I think, at our church. And all of a sudden my phone starts blowing up with texts about, hey, have you seen our Facebook? So of course I hurry up and I go look at our Facebook, and let's just say there was pictures of some person that was on there in clothing that we probably wouldn't want to be seeing in church, especially if they were to walk in on a Sunday morning. Not necessarily the greatest pictures, and somehow they got on there. So of course I'm scrambling to figure out how to get this off, because all I have is my phone, and you're limited on your phone as to what you can do sometimes. So needless to say, before I friend, I usually look at their post and verify that they're not going to be problemsome in the future. Again, we want to be open to everybody, but at the same time we want to protect the people on our Facebook as well. This can make social media bad or ugly. However, we can also make it positive. And just because there's negative stuff out there, you have negative stuff in the world, there's no way you can get around that. But we can try to make our post either cleaner from who we friend to what we put out there, and make that more positive, and people hopefully will look towards that more than the negative. A couple guides for social media in general, and if you guys have any experiences, please make sure you post them on the discussion board so we can share them and kind of look out for one another on Facebook and other forms of social media. And this is, I put these down because they're things that I ran into, at least. Remember, you're posting on behalf of your church, or if you're doing it for another organization. As I found, and this is why I have a personal Facebook, but I have no friends. Sad it sounds like, but I'd rather not do that. I really don't even want to have a Facebook. My wife handles the communications, or I'll pick up the phone as far as distance away, and I can use, sometimes I'll use the churches as far as private messaging to reach out to family members that might be friends with the church. But I at times think I'd be too tempted to post or reply to comments that would get me in trouble. Let's just say there's some people that put some really crazy stuff out there, and you just want to reach through the computer and, you know, slap them silly a little bit, which obviously isn't the thing to do. But you can definitely need to be concerned with who you're posting for, who you're posting on behalf of. And I found that with the church many times, where I wanted to post back, even to some church members, what are you thinking? But it's on behalf of the church, and I don't have that right, because then it looks like the church itself is posting this, not me. So be very careful about that if you're managing somebody else's Facebook. Before you comment, whether it be a personal one or as the church, take a minute. It's kind of like driving angry. Don't drive angry. Just like Bill Murray said to the groundhog on Groundhog's Day, don't drive angry. Take a minute, take a breath before you reply. It goes as well for emails and letters as well, or comments that you make. It's usually a little bit easier on the comments that you can write down or email or that, because it takes you a little bit of time to put them down, as opposed to where we open our mouths sometimes and insert our foots. So try to take a minute or two before you reply back, especially if it stirs up emotional response on your behalf. I have to do this, well, you have to do a lot, because there's sometimes I do, what the heck are you thinking again? And I'll either type it out, and then what I'll do is the next thing is I'll give it to my wife. Say, hun, come here. I need you to review this before I send this out, because if I do, I may be offending some people. I may be getting upset, getting some people upset, even though it might be rightly so. We want to try to be a little bit more user-friendly, PC, nice. So I'll usually give it to her, and after I've revised it a few times, give it to her, she'll revise it, and then I'll finally send it out, or say, you know what, it's just not worth it, don't even reply, which is an acceptable way to do some responses sometimes. Just let it go. Be like the kids are singing with the Frozen theme, let it go. Well, sometimes that's the way to go. And if you don't have that wife, you can give it to a pastor, give it to a trusted friend, somebody that you know will be honest with you, but also make sure that the meaning comes out well as what you intended it to be. Because let's face it, sometimes we can say something and we mean it one way, but it's taken another. So take the time to, don't rush back. We're in this digital age, and it's great, and I fall into this trap a lot where I get a text, oh, I got to reply right away. Well, no, we don't. Take time. Think about what you want to say before you shoot it out. It's something I'm trying to work on myself. Heck, with this class even. I was hopping online the first day. I was hopping online like every 2 minutes. I'm like, why is nobody posting? Give it a breath. Everybody has lives. That's why they're doing a lot of this digital age stuff, where you can do it at your leisure, at your pace, when you have time. We need to try to get in tune with that and understand that we don't have to rush back that quick. My grandmother used to have a saying, it's not my memory, it's this fast-paced world we're living in. Well, don't get too caught up in that fast-paced world. It can, even though technology is nice and we can do things quick and instantaneous, sometimes that's not a great thing. So just think about that. A couple things to think about as we're going through social media and the digital technological age. Alright, now, we're from the church. Let's look at the positive side of things. In fact, I just did a sermon for a neighboring church that asked me to do a service for them, and it was all about perspectives and point of views. So let's look at the positive point of view. First of all, my favorite, 4-letter word, free. Facebook is free. Hootsuite is free. Twitter is free. You don't have to put money out, and heaven knows, not only is budgets tight, but let's face it, church budgets are even tighter sometimes. This allows us to get the word out, do our mission for free, which is a great thing. We can advertise on there. I saw in one of the discussions that some people advertise for different church events. That is probably the #1 way we use Facebook. We use it for other things, but advertisement is a huge part of that, where we can get one single flyer out to many places, as opposed to what we used to use back in the day. I know we did it with our fire hall. We'd go door to door handing out flyers. We can do that in a single bound in seconds and get it out to millions of people, billions of people if we have that many friends. So advertisement is a great thing, whether it be Bible study, whether it be a church service, whether it be ham and oyster supper, or spaghetti dinner, or pancake breakfast, whatever it is. You can get that word out very easily, and again, for free. And then, if you remember to put it in your post, ask them to share it. Then when they receive it, they can share it on their post, and it goes to more people, and then to more people. The reaches are endless. We can also use it to spread our word, spread the word of God. Not our word, sorry. Spread the word of God. How can we do this? A couple ways we're doing it, and again, there's a bunch of other ones, and I'd love to hear from you, see how we could even enhance ours. We give a Bible trivia question a day. We're fortunate, anybody that watches the American Bible Challenge, Troy Schmidt wrote a book, and we got permission to use his questions and put them on one a day. We'll give a question, and we'll give the answer to the previous day's question on Facebook. We also do that on Twitter, and we also have an email texting program where we get that out as well. So that's a nice way to spread the word, get people using their Bibles, because that's the only way you're going to get the answer unless you wait till the next day. We also have a small group once a month that meets. We use the Chuck Knows Church series. For anybody that's familiar with that, it's a great series. It's cool. It's great for adults with the squirrel syndrome, as I like to call it, where the attention span is not much greater than that of a kindergartner. He does a lesson in about 4 or 5 minutes. Gives you just enough to whet your appetite and maybe possibly even make you want to look up and research more on a topic. The topics vary, all about different things in the church, but we use that, and we take his video, which are available on YouTube. We take the link and we actually open it up on Facebook. We'll open up with prayer, and that's the main, the beginning. We'll say we'll get started and we'll open up with prayer. We'll have a prayer on Facebook, and then everybody comments under that, including ourselves. We'll start out with, after the prayer, we'll say, okay, here's the link to the Chuck News Church for the topic this month. Last month it was the Bible. They click on that, they watch the 4 to 5 minute video, and then I have a video that I put together where I research it a little bit deeper. Once we do that, we'll wait 4 to 5 minutes, and then we'll pop, okay, here's the link for a little bit more in-depth video. The video that you guys are watching, we throw that up on YouTube, and they're watching the same video that we're watching live at the exact same time. Once that video is over, it's opened up to questions and comments, and we feed them back and forth between those that are in our live audience where we are at church, plus to those people that are not live, that are somewhere else. And then they'll comment in, we'll comment in, and it's nice interaction where you can't get out to church for whatever reason, you want to be part of this. Hey, pop on your bunny slippers, sit by your computer, and you can join us. And you're watching the same stuff we're watching. And this is also nice because through classes I've done on Be Disciple as the student, I've developed relationships, and we had people from North Carolina watching. So it's been really, really cool. So I'd invite you guys to come on out for the next one in August. You'll see the date on our Facebook, and you can join us. How else to spread the word? You can put positive things on there. We put every Sunday we put our videos online of our service. So we take the video, we upload it to YouTube, and then we do it, and you can do it a couple different ways. The way we do it is we just put our website on there, so it gets them to our website as well, and then they can click on that and click on the bulletin for the day. So you can watch the video of our service, and then you have the bulletin right there as well. You can also incorporate the video right into Facebook, so you can watch it right on Facebook as well. So there's a lot of ways you can spread the word and get even more creative than we just did. Reach out those far away. Like I said, we're reaching out to North Carolina. We actually even reached out to Thailand. And actually, she had joined us in one or two of the small groups until the time changed. Then she was 13 hours after us, and it was like 6 in the morning when we were doing it at 7 at night. So that got a little hectic. But the nice thing about it is, even if you don't want to be, you can't be there interactive live at the same time, you can go back and read what everybody else wrote, including watch the videos. So it can be really cool to see that. But she's in Thailand. She's one of our missionaries, and every now and then we'll talk with her. We'll reach out to her, private messaging and otherwise, on Facebook. But we'll also talk to her via Skype, which we'll learn next week, for video chatting. So that's another great way where we can reach out all over the world, not just our country or our states. Get some suggestions and opinions from others as part of this class. We're trying to get a hold of different ideas that you guys are doing, or ideas you're not doing, or things you're doing in your church, or things that we're doing here. Like I said, I think I might have said before, anytime I go to a convention, I love it because I get great ideas from other people in the same industry, whether it be fire department or church, that have great ideas, and we'll grab them and we'll use them as well. What they say, duplication or imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. So it's a great thing there. We also use it for prayer requests. We'll use Twitter in our communications program to send out prayer requests. And that way we can try to help and get more prayers for certain issues and things, and maybe even provide some help. There's been some times where our church has been able to help, like a neighboring church or people in need, via prayer request. And there's much more. The limits are endless. Your imagination is the only limit. So there's a ton of positive things you can do. So don't get hung up on the negative stuff and the stuff out there. You can do a lot of positive things as well. So don't forget that part. And by all means, please share them with us, and that way we can help each other out. Okay, what does your church do with social media? Again, some of the stuff was answered with the last discussion group, but maybe something else has popped in your head that you thought of that, hey, this is a great idea too. So please put that on the discussion board. It's important to get out there on social media, because if all we hear is the negative, you're not being heard. So try to get your voice out there, especially in a positive note, and you can get more people to know about your church. They might be in your community and not even know about you. We had somebody that joined one of our small groups online that can see our church from her house, but has never been to our church. So this is a way we can try to get out there. It's important to get out there, because if you're not out there, you're not being heard totally. Again, this can help us reach out beyond our walls. This is a way that we can get out. We can spread God's word, not just in our church, not just on Sunday mornings, but throughout the week and throughout the world. So we can get out there beyond our walls, which is what God calls us to do. He wants us to make disciples for Him. Well, this is a great way to do it, and you can get such a bigger impact through using social media. Let's face it, lives are getting busier and busier. Sometimes, as much as we don't want to work on the Sabbath, if you don't, you might not be able to survive. So when people can get to God, we want them to be able to have a way to do that, and we can do that through social media. We can get out there, we can give the word, we can give encouragement, we can let them see maybe a church service that they might not be able to get to, or a shut-in that can't get to it. This can be a way that we can get the word out to them, and we can still make them a part of our family. Like I said, if you can't make it out to church, we do it with one of our church members. Older lady can't quite get around as easily as she used to, and she'll come out from time to time, but sometimes she just can't do it. We'll take a DVD over to her. We had to buy her a DVD player, but we hooked it up, and we actually got her a DVD TV player combo, kind of like the ones you see in the cars that are mobile. Set it up for her, and believe it or not, it was very simple to use. I was able to show her, and she actually watches now the services when she can't make it out to church. So it's a great way to get out there and help out those that can't get out to church. Again, not that they don't want to, they physically can't. Alright, now it's your turn. In the discussion section, if you haven't already done so, and if you came up with some other ideas by try to look at other churches and see what they do as well. Don't just go to what your church does. Look at other church websites, and you can look them up through Facebook. And also put down your links so we can try to friend each other and see what each other's does, get some good ideas there. But see what they've done. See the good, see the bad. Discuss your personal experiences you may have had on social media, and again, good or bad, and different things that your church does on there. Alright, thanks again. Hopefully everybody's doing well again, and we've already had it. If you have any issues, please don't hesitate to email me. We'll get you squared away, we'll get you caught up, and hope you're enjoying it. And if there's anything specific you're interested in, obviously we have a smaller class, we might be able to customize it a little bit to make it more accommodating to your needs. Alright, can't guarantee it, but I'll do the best I can. Alright, thanks a lot, have a good day.